Okay, welcome everybody to, where's my coffee? Way over there. Coffee right in the morning. I'm kind of zoomed in here, and I have a lot of different projects going on. Right now I'm working on 8 different portraits in just different process of being done. This right here, and I talked about it before I hit record, this is my grandma that we lost a few years ago, and it's my mom's mom, and mom's watching. So this is why I'm doing it on a Monday morning. I'm going to work on it so that my mom can see. This is her Mother's Day present. We already talked about it. So anyway, I'm going to work on this for a little bit. I have a glue book project, and I've got other portraits over here that we won't get to today, but I am working on another one over here. I sketched out. I showed the girls, if you like a Survivor, I'm working on a portrait of Jeff. I just started it, so yeah, so I've got lots of things going on as far as portraits go. And so I have done a little bit of this. Hey, it's been a very busy weekend. It's spring break week, so we'll be doing lots of family stuff. And Jen from Australia is supposed to be here this week. We're looking forward to that. Depending on the weather, we'll make some plans to do some things with her. Again, depending on the weather. It's supposed to have a storm come through here today. So if it starts lightning, guys, I'll have to go. But in the meantime, we're going to work on Grandma for a little bit. I have a bunch of pencils and stuff right here, right off camera. And I do have an extra piece of paper behind me, and then here's my calendar, just to give it a little cushion. My table is painty and crusty and crunchy with this paper is, so you don't want to lay any kind of portrait or a piece of anything that you're coloring or anything like that on a, rough surface, because you'll pick up that texture. So I have an extra piece of paper behind her and this calendar here. Smile, it's Monday. Hey Diana, hey Bunny. Anybody else I missed? Thanks for being here, everybody. So I'm going to work on her for a little bit, and yeah, then we'll do a separate video for some other projects. So far what I have done is I painted her hair in white. I'll probably zoom in maybe, well, I don't know. That looks pretty good. Y'all can tell me. But anyway, and I use paint on her outfit here. Okay, and then some white paint on these little shell beads, and then I just started penciling that in, penciled in the little necklace, and then I started, this is all pencil here. All the face, the glasses, all this is pencil, but I do use a base of paint on the hair and clothing. Excuse me. So that's what, yeah, so I got a picture of her here on my iPad that I'll be referring to. And so I'll probably just prop her up right here, maybe. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see if I can prop her up on that. Okay. I need something to prop in front of the iPad. Let's see. Scissors probably will hold that up. Nope. I need a book. Ugh. Something. Let me get a book or something. Oh, well, there it goes. It's going to stay. All right. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit and just chat. So hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm going to dig through all my pencils here that sorry, guys. Need a hot coffee in my throat. Let me move a couple of these Sharpies out of here. I don't need those. I don't need my drawing pencil anymore. I don't need my water brush. I don't need that eraser. Let's see. All right. So, if you have any questions, put them in caps. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching the recording over there. And, yeah, it's a live show with a live chat, so it is chatty. Just saying. If you don't like chatty videos, just move on. Okay, so now I'm going to get back into her eyes. Now, the picture I've got of her, it's not very close of her eyes, so I'm kind of having to work on it a little bit from memory, and hopefully Mom will think I did a good job at the end of it. So, yeah. All right. So I'm going to get back into the pupils, and she had kind of hazel eyes. kind of green, hazily eyes. So I'm going to get her pupils just right in there. Do y'all think I need to zoom in a little? We can. I'm kind of trying to stay, you know, the whole thing so you can kind of see the whole, the big picture. All right. I know I'm going to have a little bit of a shadow. Okay. Yeah, I guess I will have to zoom in a little. In my, I don't want to glare, but let's see. Let's see if we can refocus now. Is that focused? All right. It's hard to tell, you know, every time you zoom in and everything, you got to redo everything. All right. Okay, so, and I think she was probably around when this picture was taken. Mom, I'm not sure. Was she like 90, maybe 92? 92 when this picture was taken? Okay, good, good. And I'm just over here on the side sharpening. There, is that good? Okay, good. And I won't be finishing it right now. I'll just say that right off. This will probably be, I don't know. I can't tell you how many hours. Probably a good 4 or 5 more hours maybe. So I just thought I'd work on it for, you know, about an hour. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start putting in some skin tones here. Let me get a couple shades of peaches. This is my light one here. And I'm just using Prismacolors. I do want to practice with some of my other pencils. For portraits, I just have not had time. Thanks, Scooby. Okay, so the next thing I do, I have a little bit of shadow in here. I'm going to take my next, and you can see where I have the white highlights, and it's on tan tone paper. And the paper I'm using, where's my book? Is the Strathmore Tone Tan. I do all my portraits on this. And I have a couple sheets here, and it's on a calendar, so it's padded a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to go in here, and this is, let's see, I know there's a shadow, but it is what it is, guys. Okay, so I'm going to start getting in some of the peachier color. And again, very light layers. Got to have lots of light layers. So, yeah, this is going to be my Mother's Day present. See a little bit of her skin kind of showing through that hair right in here. Hair's thin, you know. Over here too, a little bit. So yeah, looking forward to Jen coming over. I think she's going to be at Eileen's. Janet says she'll be at Eileen's today. I don't expect to see Eileen in here today, because she'll be getting ready for Jen, heading down that way. And so, and depending on the weather, will depend on what we can, you know, what activities or what we can do with Jen when she's here. And you don't see much of her eyebrows. They're pretty. Let me go even to the lighter peach here. Even, let's see, do I want that one? Yeah, this one. Almost got our eyebrows. Let me go to my, where's my eraser? Almost got our eyebrows a little too dark. And this will work to a certain extent. Your white, these little Derwent electric battery operated, I should say, erasers will work to a certain extent. But once you get a lot of layers on there, they're not going anywhere. So, but anyway, I want to get her eyebrows just a little, because you don't see her eyebrows hardly at all. Just a little touch of them. So I'm just trying right now, just trying to get in the, Mom said the eyes are looking good. Thanks, Mom. Can y'all see okay? Hopefully. I got to stay in. Hey, Carol Renee, Kimberly, who else am I missing? Hey, Jen. I need to ask Jen about some reading, because I would love to, I've read different parts of books. I'd like to, anyway, that's a whole another topic. We'll do that another time. Talk about that topic. Because y'all know I love to read too, but don't have near the time. Or I should say, we all have the same amount of time. I don't take the time to read. I spend most of my time arting, Okay, she has a little bit of hair behind her glasses here. She has some little earrings on. She always wore earrings, always. Always wore earrings. And usually a necklace or something too. But she always wore her earrings. And then no, I want to read Game of Thrones. And here's the thing. I have not watched the show because I don't want to watch the show till I read the books. But they're so, Cameron was reading them. He was reading Game of Thrones. I don't know how far he's got in them, but he was reading them. I don't want to me, the books are always better than the show. So I want to read the books first before I watch the show. So neither one. I've not read any one. I know, me too, Jen. But that's the reason that I haven't. Mom said pearl earrings. I haven't watched the show or read the books, and it's time, guys. I haven't taken the time. I'm just kind of trying to get her little ears, glasses go into her hair there. You read all 5? Yeah. Here's Jean now, and Jean, granted, and I probably should get into audiobooks, Jean, after 2 eye surgeries. And I do have to say, I can't read tiny. I can't read, the old paperbacks with the tiny writing. I can't read those anymore, even with my trifocals, progressive trifocals. I can't read that little print. So I probably should do more in the audiobook. But here's the thing, Jean, and you can tell me, all you girls that do, if you watch the show before reading the books, you're never disappointed. If you read the other way, always. Yeah, well, but I'd rather personally, I'd rather have the author's perspective first before the movie. And I try to always, do that. Try to read the book. I mean, not every silly thing, of course, but, but if it's going to be an in-depth something like Game of Thrones or something, and that's like Outlander, read all the Outlanders. But anyway, so back to the audiobook. The thing about the audiobook is you know when you read a book, you hear the characters how you think they should sound, right? And then when you when you see somebody else their voice, it's like that's set. That's set, and that's that character's voice all from now on. Where if you've read the book first, then you got your own character's voice in your head. You know? You know, that's why I'm glad I like all the, the I mean the movies that have been made for from books, you know. The like all the Lord of the Rings. Of course, I read those, when I was a teenager, but I've reread them, and I have my own idea of what those voices sound like. This is just some more highlights and stuff on her here, guys. Lots of light layers. But I want to make sure she's very pale. Very, very translucent, pale skin. Pretty, but, it's still. Hi, Hibiscus girl. Good to see you. Most audiobooks have awesome readers who do each character in a different voice. Okay. But do you ever have, I'll ask Jean because I know she reads listens to a lot of audio books. And she has to. Jean, I don't know anybody that, Jean, for her impaired sight, oh my gosh, she reads like crazy. If she's not falling asleep to me, she's falling asleep on an audiobook. I would love to be an audiobook reader. Just saying. I love to read. I like to read out loud. Y'all heard me read some here. Okay, I'm just continuing on here. I'm trying to kind of blend. She has the laugh lines, lots of smiley lines here. And her glasses, here's the thing about when people wear glasses and you photograph them, if you plan on drawing them, well, which I wasn't planning on drawing this at the time I took the picture, but if their glasses cut across their eyes, it can be a little tricky to draw them. And I've got 3 different ones that I'm drawing with people with glasses. You can still read and art with audiobooks, just saying. That's true. That's true. That's true, Jean. I think that would be the benefit of an audiobook. I gotta just try it, Jean, because then you could art. You could art while you're listening to audiobooks. That's so true. That's a good point right there. All right, so now let me sharpen my pencil again. Yeah, and that's what Jean was just saying too. So this is just part of the, find all my highlights. I did a little bit of, shading here and there, but mostly what I like to do on this tone tan paper is find all my highlights first. That's just the way I roll with it, I'm not saying it's right or wrong or the only way or none of that. So it's just the way that I do my portraits is I start finding all the highlights. This is my grandma. If you're just joining me, this is my grandma who passed away a few years ago, and I'm doing this picture for my mom for Mother's Day. And she just found out this morning. She just found out that I'm doing this for her. So I thought, and I could have just gave it to her as a surprise, but I thought she might like to see some of the process, and that's why I do that. A lot of people ask me to do their portraits on either on stream or, and the some don't want their picture shown at all. I'd say the majority of them really don't want their portrait shown online, you know, especially if I do their kids or grandkids. Sometimes I get permission and they say, yeah, it's fine. And it's usually when they're online themselves all the time anyway, and they don't care because they're, you know. But for the most part, my portraits are not shown. But I, you know, sometimes I can't. But, you know, Mom would probably, yeah. Most libraries use an app called Overdrive, and you can check out books. Okay. Oh. And listen on your phone. How much does that take up? A lot of space? I mean, I don't mind doing it on my computer. I don't know if I'd want to do it on my phone, Jean. What do you think? Is it, or can you just like download a book and then it's gone after you've done reading it? So it's only using up the space per one book at a time. You know what I mean? I have a Nook. I haven't used it in I don't know how long because, and well, I do have the Nook app on my phone too. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't done anything with audiobooks at all, Jean. We'll have to talk. Okay, so let's see now. Come down here on a little chin down in here. It's a little wider. Yeah, if y'all have questions, put them in caps, guys, because, you know, the chat scrolls by really quick, and I don't want to miss if you have a question. So, and if you're watching on YouTube, thanks, guys, for watching over there. I appreciate it. And I do think about y'all over there, too. So, we're getting there here. All right, let me go back to my shading color here a little bit. A little bit up in the hair. And I can paint in wisps. You know, I'm going to put some blue in her hair. You know, probably a nice blue like this blue. Like, let's just go over here and do a little bit of that. And then I can paint in some more wisps, you know. Although she kept her hair very coiffed, you know. There are some on YouTube before you commit and spend money on them. Some audiobooks you can listen through the app without downloading the book. Okay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I just never have listened to it. I mean, I hate to say I've never listened to an audiobook, ever. I just, because I guess I love the reading of it, you know. I love reading, holding a book. But I think a benefit to having audiobook would be to have being able to work while you're listening, you know. Okay, so you listen to Overdrive without downloading the book to your computer. Okay, so it's starting to rain. I don't think we're supposed to have any like thunderstorms or anything like that till later this afternoon, like afternoon. So anyway, so she kept her hair very coiffed, so that the blue is the shadows in her hair, and it's just little curls, and she's so soft. Oh, I miss you, Grandma. But I thought this would be a nice mom's, and I don't know why I hadn't done it sooner. Maybe we just like, it's too emotional, so I hadn't done it. But, so I thought Mom would like it for Mother's Day. So just a little bit of shadow. Hey, Shalene. We have shells and Shalene. Two shells. We have two shells. You're looking at the Overdrive app now? Okay. Yeah, when I, years ago, when I read all the Cadfael series, and that reminds me, I was going to tell y'all about the sister, whatever her name is, that Lady Jan told me about. It's like a Cadfael, but it's a nun. Well, anyway, again, I had to go check out the hardback books because the paperbacks were too little for me to read, and that was years ago. I know, little perms, yes. And Grandma was tiny. I think she's about 5'1" and weighed like 95 pounds or something. Most of her elderly life. So, yeah. And then I'll take the white and I'll just kind of blend that in because her hair is almost just like solid white. There's very little shadow. But then as a final touch, I can go in here and wisp out some paint wisps of hair. Not out here because her hair was very coiffed, but she had a couple little hairs here and there. I could, just to give it a little more personality in it. Thanks, guys. I don't do a whole lot of portraits on stream. Like I said, most of the time I'm doing portraits. They're commissions, and I like the person that's getting the commission to see it first. Another thing is it's just so time consuming. Most people don't want to sit here and watch me spend 15 minutes coloring hair. And I'm not talking about the YouTube video because anybody on YouTube can fast forward, but we can't fast forward here in the live show. So it's kind of a long process to do portraits. It's Fael. CAD, Fael at the end, Valerie. Like I said, I got mine at the library. Ellis Peters is the author, and again, watching the BBC series, it was okay, but I had read the books first, so I'd read the books, so I had my own ideas about voices and all that, how they sounded. She needs a little bit more see-through right in here. You can kind of see through her hair a little bit here. So I don't want to say that they didn't do a good job at it. It's just that it wasn't all that what I heard in my head and of course I have to condense everything too in TV shows and movies. They can't do the full-on book kind of thing. All right, so I'm going to get in here and kind of blend out some of the shading I put on the eyes around the glasses. Needs a little bit more wrinkle right there. And then let me blend that in. Hey, TNT. Oh, yeah. Well, so anyway, yeah, sorry. That was a little rabbit trail there, Valerie. So what I was saying is you can probably buy the little paperbacks on Amazon. And you might be able to, I don't know how much they cost in, regular book because, they're from the 80s, I think is when they came out, maybe early 80s through the 80s. I can't remember the exact dates, but they're maybe late 70s. I don't remember. Anyway, I would check your what I'm saying is, I said all that to say, check your library and see if they have the hard copies in the big book. Yeah, Valerie, exactly. Exactly. So there we go. So I don't do a lot of portraits on here. If I did more portraits, I would probably do those just as recordings and not as a stream because it takes so long. Hey, CB. This is my grandma. I'm doing this for my mom for Mother's Day. And, yeah. And this is where like I'll clean. I mean, it's more over here off screen, but I'll clean my pencils off. um, I would do recordings so that you could watch it, but fast forward through, at times when it takes a long time to do something. Can hit a little bit of gray blue right in here. Of a shadow there. Like Jeff, for instance. We're talking about I want to draw Jeff from Survivor. That would be a good one to do video. Make parts of videos where I just draw for hours. And then you can fast forward through it all, right? Because, they're time consuming, guys. They take some time. Lots of soft, light layers. But I did this one on camera for Mom, pretty much. Yeah, she does have a nice smile, doesn't she? So, yeah. And she has a lot of laugh, smile, wrinkles. So I want to capture that. Light touch, light layers. So you can get, many layers as you need. Oh, thanks, Valerie. Yeah, she's... miss her. Yeah, I hear it raining out there. Like I said, guys, as long as it's not lightning. So I wanted to work on this for, like I said, about an hour. And then I wanted to do something on a glue book. Well, it's one of my sketchbook glue books. Y'all have seen it before, but I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit more so you can have more ideas on what you can do with a glue book. Well, I always saw her smiling. I don't know that I'm sure, we all have our times, but yeah. Grandma was very empathetic. She felt things. She could feel things. And in this picture, some of her lipstick is worn off. So I'm kind of like, I'm not putting like any lip lines like inner lips. There's a few, but I'm not overdoing it because she always wore lipstick too. So she really always had her lips shaped well because she wore her lipstick, all the time. Yeah, Suzanne, I know we're going to have, it's raining now, but I don't think we're supposed to have any, like, storms. Okay, I got a little bit too dark right there. Like, really bad storms or anything. Like, they're not predicting any storms till, like, later in the day. So, hopefully, we can continue streaming with no lightning. Go back to my... Don't see this nostril, just her head's tilted just enough that you don't see that nostril very much over there. And this, where's my dark brown? Bring this one down just to see a tiny bit of it, the way her head's tilted. And there's, you know, the shadows are more on this side of her face. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, yeah. I've been doing that all weekend. Well, not just for Jen, but spring break is this week. And so we got plans. It's depending on the weather. It always depends on the weather. I mean, we're not going to the lake in the pouring down rain, you know, stuff like that, right? That's no fun. You can't fish. Don't want to go out on a boat in the rain, you know, all that stuff. So it's going to depend on the weather. But we spent the weekend, we cleaned out the garage. Sometimes I stop talking, guys, because I'm thinking for just a minute. Cleaned out the garage and did a lot of, cleaning and stuff. All weekend. Okay, her little nose isn't that big. Her nose is littler. She needs some shadow right on here. That's what it is. And also, guys, remember, if you're doing anything like this and you think, well, is that right? Turn your picture and your reference upside down. Now, Grandma had a little thing on her nose. She had to have it removed. So she was always a gardener, was always outside. So she had a little thing on her nose removed, so it kind of gave her a little dent right there, I think. Mom's probably going... I can hear my mom. Anyway, so her nose has a little bit of a kind of a different little shape right there because of her that happening to her. But she was a gardener, and I mean, she was a goer. Mom, I know Mom's listening. She did not like to sit down. She liked to keep going. And I think that's where Denise and Boo, well, Mom, I mean, me and Mom aren't, I don't think, quite as the same as Denise and Boo and Grandma. They just go, go, go. I mean, I still go, 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 but it's sitting down in my art table. So I have a lot of energy for this, I should say. Let's do a little more shading under her cheek there. So I'm just building up the layers, as you can see. And if you're just joining me again, this is my grandma. I'm doing this for my mom for Mother's Day. A little bit more here. Oh, I still have to, all this has got to be blended. It's just lots of layers. Just find some of the pink in her face next. Little cheeks. If you have any questions, just put them in caps. But if you are watching on YouTube and you want to see more portraits, I mean, I can draw people all day. It just may not be commissions that I can draw on, you know, depending on who it is I'm drawing. Because again, you know, some people don't want their families on, and the other times it's, I like the person that's getting the commission to be the first ones to see it. And, you know, if I'm sitting here drawing it, then they're not. Although, in Mom's case, it's because I thought she would like to see some being drawn. Okay, this needs a little bit lighter right in there. Gotta kind of blend that out a little. Again, because it's right on the glasses. I have to kind of do the glasses still sharper. But I'm trying to have a minimum amount of brown. Her glasses are brown. I'm trying to have the minimum amount of brown around the eyes yet until I finish them, so I'm not accidentally pulling in the brown from the glasses into the skin. But the glasses do kind of go, especially this one, it kind of cuts right across her eye. So I got to kind of make sure that kind of happens a little. Okay, let's go back to, I want this kind of a blend there. A little bit of this pinky color. So thanks everybody for being here. Just want to work on this. How long have we been here? Probably about another 15 or 20 minutes. Like about an hour is a good amount of time to work on a portrait in a sitting here with you guys. Teeth can be tricky. Coloring and listening, okay. And then a little bit of shadow back in here. On the back teeth, just a little bit of shadow. Alright, let's work our way down the face. But I do take commissions. Just, you know, message me. If you're on anywhere, you can just message me. Most people can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I have another girl wants me to do her dog. A girl on Instagram. Message me. I think I get a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram the most. And because all you have to do is just message me a photograph, you know, to draw the person or pet, you know. It's not like in the old days you had to mail it, actually mail pictures. This is my grandma, Mel. I'm doing this for my mother for Mother's Day. So I'm working on a little bit here. There's a little bit of shadow, blue shadow over in there. And a little bit of shadow, I think, on these shells. These are shells. Now I haven't done any really much to them yet, but it's a little bit of shadow there. So yeah, that's who it is. It's my grandma. I think she was like, Mom could probably tell me. Was she like 92 in this picture? I'm trying to think I think we took this picture when we were at Denise's. And just a little bit of shading here. Lots of layers. Thanks, Mel. A little bit of shadow right here on our chin area. Because this side of her face isn't more in the shadow. So again, I think she was like 92 or 3 in this picture. Mom can tell me later. I'll let y'all know. Yeah, she was in her 90s. Mom says about 92. And how old was she when she passed, Mom? 97? No, they were just talking about that, Mel. I haven't, but maybe some of the other girls have. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube and you want, because again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can fast forward past things, right? And I don't speed up videos. I don't edit any videos. This is all live. But if you want to see me draw more or do more portraits, like I said, I'm working on, well, I have it sketched out. Where did I put my book? Oh, here. I'm going to do a Jeff Probst from Survivor. This is as far as I got so far. I just kind of drew his hat and started highlighting his face. But if y'all want to see somebody that you would recognize, because, I mean, this is my grandma. But I'm doing it here mostly for my mom. Yeah, I know everybody says she has a nice smile. She does. She has an awesome smile. Don't want to get that too dark. That might be a little too much. Let's go back in there. It's a little shaded there, but probably best to do that in a little bit of peach here. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to some more blending down here. I did do Mom's husband Ken's picture, but it was kind of like the opposite thing. He gave me a picture of himself in high school, and I did his high school. I think it was high school or 20s. Maybe it was in his 20s. I'm not sure. It was either high school or 20s, Mom. Which one was it? And okay, now I'm going to get in here a little bit on top of this paint. Links are closed, guys. If you need if you need it open, we can open them for a specific link. Let's see. Looking. Let me come over here to some blues. This blue, and I need a little bit of a shading, but I don't know if I want indigo. I just want to, yeah, I think I want indigo as a shade. People should notice that you are using blue for shadows. Yes, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, Whippy. She's saying, and Whippy is an artist, an awesome artist, by the way. If you don't follow Whippy on Instagram, you don't know what you're missing. But yeah, blue shadows are much more alive than gray. That is true. Especially in pencil when you're layering and layering and layering. I mean, this is just probably, I still got multiple layers to go. Multiple layers. So I wanted to do it, but I'm only going to work on it for about 15 more minutes. So I thought I'd come down here and show you a little bit in the clothes. Now this is just acrylic paint. Just acrylic paint, white and blue. Then what I do is go on top of that and start shading with pencil. Okay, so right along the neckline, she has a t-shirt like thing under this other t-shirt thing. It's like a double shirt she's wearing, and these are little puka shells or something, kind of shell necklace. I'll get to all that, you know. That's kind of like more on the icing on the cake type thing, you know. All right, so in here, this is really dark right in here. Okay, so this comes around. And I just left a white space there so I could distinguish between the two shirts. Kind of comes down like this. And that's another little shirt here, and I'll just kind of end it right there. And I kind of leave these feathered on the edges. I kind of let the paint just kind of feather off rather than try to just like a harsh line. You know, and every portrait, how you do that is different. It's all going to depend on, where's my blue? I need a little bit of blue in here. And then there's like a little highlight, right, kind of like in there. And then a little bit of shadow right in here. Wait, this one's blue right here. And I mean, these little things like this are very subtle. I see them, but I don't know if it's showing up on camera. But this is how now I go in here with the pencil and start doing the details on the clothes. And again, I'm skipping ahead here because, all right, so now she's got kind of like a neckline here. I mean, there's like a ribbed kind of t-shirt neckline thing here. So I'm going to put this in, kind of lighten that up. And I can do this because this is paint. Just like we do our color book, the reason that this works on top of acrylic the pencil, it works like this because it's on acrylic paint. If this was a solid blue pencil, I could not do this right here. Now I'm going to take my blue and go over that because I don't want that white, I just want it light blue. Barely touching the paper. So see, we've gone from this to this. See the depth that gives you? And there might be a little bit extra brightness right there. A little stitch line like thing along here. I like doing all the little details in the clothes and stuff. It's a little thing right here. Not much that would show. Alright, so now you can see the difference between this side and this side. Okay, so now we're going to come over here. And again, this side's more in shadow. but there is a highlight like right where this bends. Kind of like that. And I'll go over that with blue. And then there's a little shadow under here. And there's going to be shadows under these shells too. I'm not sure if I want to get into that yet, but there's going to be shadows all under these. They'll be more defined. And this side over here has got a little bit more shadow. Do you use acrylic paints in most of your portraits? No, no. The only place I use acrylic paints are on the clothes and the hair. All this is pencil. I mean, sometimes on like those little quick dog sketches, I'll use acrylic paint on their faces for those quick ones. You know, so I can grab that fur real quick and get it, you know, when I do those quick sketches y'all seen me do here. But for the most part, the paint is on the clothes and the hair. And then, of course, I go in here with shading on the hair, too. Oh, I missed it. Whose birthday week is it? Jean. I know it's Jean's. Jean's is Thursday, right, Jean? All the cards have gone out. I mean, hopefully, I don't know if Jean will get hers by Thursday. They're all out. Hopefully, Jean. But one's coming, Jean. Just saying. It's on the way, Miss Sassy Pants. Okay, Mom. Mom has to go to a doctor appointment, so she said, see us later. I'm going to just do a little bit more here on the clothes, and then we're going to stop anyway. But I wanted you to get a, you know, mostly, I got to say, it's mostly for Mom. Mostly for Mom, I wanted to do a little bit of drawing Grandma because this is her Mother's Day present. I wanted Mom to be able to see a little bit of the process, you know. Okay, a little bit more shadow in here on her neck. Didn't even go down and get her hot coffee. Yeah, I know. I haven't gone to get coffee yet. I'll do that in between, you know, when I finish this before I go on to the next phase. All right, so now we're going to have a little bit on these stripes. There's a little bit of shadow coming down where they kind of bend a little. Like there's like a not a wrinkle, but just a little wave. And then the highlight on the shirts are kind of be like this, with a little bend of the where you see the bend in the stripes. Okay, and a little bit on the white too. I have to blend that in. It's like a fold. You know what I mean, Vern? Kind of blending in that blue shadow on the white stripe. Okay. Just has a little bit of a fold. I don't want it shiny though, because it's a t-shirt. Whoops, wrong blue. It's a t-shirt. It's not a silk anything. But there's just a little bit of a fold there that just kind of gives it a little extra something. Gives it a little, see, it has a little bit more depth than this. And then there's a little shadow here. And then So yeah, so I've been really busy over the weekend, and I'll be busy all this week. We'll see about streaming times depending on when Jen can be here. When it's family stuff, so I can't even say I'm going to stream on Wednesday yet, guys. So I'll keep you posted. But hopefully, if Jen comes on Thursday, we'll stream sometime. I don't know what time she's going to be here, so it's just hard to say. Here's so far what we have. Oh, I did want to do one. All right, I'm going to stop on this because I'm going to do the same kind of thing over on this side. But you can see how the clothing starts to have more dimension with just a little bit of shading. Okay, so I'm going to stop on that. Wait, I do need a little bit of blue right here. And now I'm going to go onto our glasses. Even though you really don't want to do the dark stuff on the glasses and stuff like that until you got all the skin done. But I'm really pretty careful about things like, I know how to work around that. But if you're not used to doing portraits, you don't want to do dark browns, like if their glasses were black, or their makeup, if they have like a lot of course she doesn't, she just had some lipstick on, but if they have a lot of mascara, you don't want to put that mascara on right at the until the end, because then when you go to, let me sharpen this, when you go to work around the skin that's close to the eyelashes, you're likely to pick up that black and drag it in. So you got to be really careful. So I'm going to finish these glasses, then we're going to do a separate part. A separate show on another recording of something else. So, you got to, especially, see, there's highlights there. I already put some white highlights on the glasses. So now I can back those highlights up a little with the sharpness of the pencil, of the brown. See the difference that makes? I'm using, where's my pad here? My Strathmore Tone Tan. I do all my portraits on this paper. Strathmore Tone Tan, Series 400, and it's 9 by 12. Comes 50 sheets. You can get the small one too. I think it's 5 by 7 or something like that. But all my portraits I do on this. Okay, let's get back to the... And the YouTuber that I have planned to draw wears glasses too. I'm not going to see any more about that because, for a while I was trying to do like one a month, draw a YouTuber once a month. This side of her glasses, her head's tilted just enough where there's a little opening in her glasses, but you don't see it on this side because of the tilt of the glasses. There's like there's an opening in there too, but you don't see it in the picture. So anyway, I was trying to do a YouTuber once a month, but it's been months. I don't even remember the last one we did. Maybe it was Angie Bell. I don't remember. But I'm not going to tell y'all who it is. But I do have a picture of her to draw. Oh, I said it's a her. So, but I don't want to say because I don't know when I'm gonna have, get to it. I have 8 portraits like I showed y'all earlier before I hit record. And then there's a little bit of a highlight right there and kind of goes into her eyes here. It's really pouring down rain, but it's not lightning yet, so we're still here. Suzanne says it's lightning up. I mean, it's storming up there too. She's north she's north of me in Atlanta area. Okay, so so there's a start. Again, now I need to put a nice layer of peach over some of the white. Oh, y'all hear it raining? This will be the next soft layer. And because the white is there, when I go over it with the peach, I don't lose that brightness. If I try to do a peach coat first and then put the white on top, it's just never as vibrant. No matter, the light layers, I just find that for me, again, I'm not telling anybody else how to do portraits, how you do yours separately. But to have the, what do you call it, the white will make it stand out nice and strong. That way when you go over it with the lighter peach colors, then the white is still retained in there. You know what I mean, Bert? Uh-oh. Okay. Wiggle the mouse. So I'm just going to kind of smooth out her forehead here just a little with this next layer. And I'm not bearing down, guys. Very, very light pressure. Because if you don't get it waxy buildup, you can get lots of layers. Because once you get the wax there, it's, you can slap on some more. Anyone heard? I've seen, Scooby, I've seen that those carvings on the graphite pencil lead points online. I know, it's awesome. And speaking of it, I don't know if Janet, she's coming and going, but on PBS this weekend, there was I forgot what it was called. I recorded it. But it was a calligrapher, professional, calligrapher, who they did a profile on him. It was called the Penman something, or I don't even remember. But anyway, it was only 30 minutes long, but it was really interesting. I'll have to find the name of it if you want the name of it. So again, just knocking back how white it is. Although there will still be some whiter highlights, but it just layers up. So I'm just adding some nice flesh, peachy color to the skin. She's very pale, kind of translucent. But there is color to her. There is some skin color there. But it's coming along. So I think I'm going to stop now. It's harder to draw family. Yeah, it really is, Whippy. That is so true. Whippy just brought up the point. It's hard to draw a family member because their little personalities, the nuances of them. And one snapshot, one photo doesn't necessarily capture who that person to be. So it's a little hard to draw your family members, for sure. That's why I don't draw them very much. But this is my mom's Mother's Day present. So Grandma's been gone for a few years now. And this is when she was, I think Mom and I decided she was around 92 in this picture. So, hey Linda. tweeting. Hey, beady eye tweeting. Beady eye bad. She's just tweeting out that the show. All right, so any questions before we stop this recording, guys? Again, thanks for being patient with me while I drew a little bit of my grandma here. Lots more layers to go, and I'll make sure and show you it. I'll try to show it before, yeah, because Mother's Day is not till next month, so I'll have time to work on it and then show you guys progress, and I'll make sure and take pictures, and I'll post it on Twitter and Instagram and all that. So I'm putting a little bit of her eyebrows. You don't see much of them, but I'm kind of putting a little bit of her eyebrows in blue. I'll tell you a couple of things where if you get this right on a portrait, you'll have the person look more like the person than you think you could do. And that is her eyebrows. If you get their eyebrows right, the highlights above the eyebrows. Now this needs to be, brought down here, some of this white. But if you get the eyebrows right and the corners of their mouth, and their eyebrows, you'll be ahead of the game. I'm not saying that if you just get that right, that's all you have to do, but if you get those two things right, you'll be ahead of the game as far as in portraits. I don't know if Whippy will agree, but I've just found that if I get those two things right, then it kind of really, everything else starts to really work. Okay, Scooby. Thank you. All right, so guys, I'm going to stop on this. And a little something, there we go. And we will have a part 2. I want to show you some glue book stuff, just a little bit. And let me back out here. So you can kind of get the big picture. So yeah, there's my grandma coming along. She has like green hazel eyes. When you see me going over here and doing that, I'm cleaning off the tip of my pencil. So yeah. So thanks guys for watching this segment. Again, I'll post pictures when she's done, but you got to see a little bit of the process. And we'll be right back. Thanks guys.